Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of Dr. English Channel. I'm David.
And I'm Anna. Thanks for joining us again. Today, we're diving into a topic that's very close to many people's hearts: introverts. But before we start, don't forget to subscribe our channel for more videos about the easy ways to learn English from beginner.
Yep, today's episode is called Introvert People. We're going to talk about what it really means to be an introvert, how introverts think, how they socialize, and why they're often misunderstood.
This topic is fascinating because I think a lot of people assume being an introvert means being shy or antisocial, but that's not true at all.
Exactly. I think there are a lot of misconceptions. And honestly, I used to misunderstand introversion myself. I used to think introverts just didn't like people. But now I realize it's more about energy, where you get it and how you spend it.
Totally. And I think today we can explore both sides, introverts and extroverts, and maybe help people understand themselves a little better.
So, Anna, would you say you're an introvert?
I would say I'm more of an ambivert, somewhere in the middle, but I definitely lean toward the introvert side. I enjoy people, but after a social event, I need time alone to recharge.
Same here. I think I used to think of myself as an extrovert, but as I got older, I realized I need that quiet time. After teaching or doing a group project, I just want silence.
That's such a good point. Introverts aren't necessarily quiet all the time. They can be very social, but social interactions drain their energy instead of recharging it.
Exactly. Like extroverts get energy from people, and introverts spend energy when they're around people.
Right. And sometimes introverts feel pressure to act more extroverted, like in school, at work, or even in friendships, because society tends to reward people who are loud, confident, and outgoing.
Oh, yeah, the world is definitely built for extroverts. Meetings, group work, open offices, parties, everything is designed around constant social interaction.
And for introverts, that can be exhausting.
For sure. But I think introverts have superpowers too. Deep thinking, creativity, great listening skills, and the ability to focus for long periods.
Absolutely. I read once that some of the most innovative people in history were introverts, like Albert Einstein, Bill Gates, or even J.K. Rowling.
Yeah, they didn't need to talk constantly, they needed space to think deeply.
You know what I find fascinating about introverts? Their inner world.
Oh, yes. Introverts live a lot inside their own minds.
Exactly. They often have rich inner lives, full of imagination, reflection, and observation. They might not talk much, but their thoughts are like a whole universe.
I totally agree. My introverted friends often surprise me. They'll stay quiet during group discussions, but when they finally speak, what they say is incredibly thoughtful.
Yes, it's like they've been processing everything deeply before speaking.
That's the thing. Introverts think before they talk, while extroverts often talk to think.
That's such a good way to put it.
I remember in college, I had a roommate who was super introverted. We'd go to parties together, and after about an hour, I'd notice him sitting in a quiet corner, just watching people.
I know that feeling.
And afterward, when we walked home, he'd tell me all these detailed observations about what people said, their emotions, even body language, things I completely missed.
That's so true. Introverts notice small details because they're observing, not just reacting.
It's like they have a radar for emotions.
Exactly. And that's why introverts often make great writers, artists, or counselors. They see things deeply and feel things deeply.
Let's talk about friendships. I think introverts have a very different approach to social life.
Totally. Introverts don't usually want a large group of friends. They want meaningful, deep connections with a few people.
Yeah, quality over quantity.
Right. For an introvert, one honest conversation with a close friend is more satisfying than a big party with dozens of people.
I've noticed that introverts value authenticity. They can't handle fake smiles or small talk for too long.
Oh, small talk, the introvert's nightmare.
Exactly. I know introverts who say, I can handle small talk for 5 minutes, but after that, I want to talk about something real, like life, purpose, or the universe.
Yes, I'm like that too. I can't just keep talking about the weather or traffic.
But you know what? Introverts make really loyal friends. They might not open up easily, but when they do, they're deeply committed.
That's true. They value trust and they don't waste energy on relationships that don't feel genuine.
Yeah, if an introvert lets you into their world, that's special.
Let's talk about how introverts function in workplaces or schools.
Good topic. I think many introverts struggle in traditional classrooms or offices because those environments reward the loudest voices.
Exactly. Participation points, group discussions, constant teamwork, it can be draining.
Yeah, like in meetings, extroverts speak up right away, but introverts need time to process their thoughts. But by the time they're ready to share, the discussion has already moved on.
That's so true. And people sometimes mistake that for not caring or not having ideas, which is unfair.
Totally. Some of the best ideas come from quiet thinkers. They just need a bit more time to form them.
I agree. I think workplaces should create space for different communication styles, like allowing people to submit ideas in writing instead of only speaking up in meetings.
That would be amazing. And for introverts, having a quiet workspace can really make a difference.
Definitely. I've seen introverts thrive in remote work because they can control their environment and focus deeply without interruptions.
Yeah, solitude isn't loneliness for them, it's peace.
Let's address some myths about introverts.
Oh, yes, the big one. Introverts are shy.
Exactly. Shyness is about fear of social judgment, but introversion is about energy preference.
Right. You can be a confident introvert who gives public speeches, but still need quiet time afterward.
Absolutely. I know introverts who are leaders, teachers, actors. They can perform and interact, but afterward, they need to rest alone.
Another misconception is that introverts don't like people.
Yes, introverts do like people. They just prefer meaningful one on one interactions instead of big, noisy crowds.
Exactly. It's not that they hate parties, they just get tired faster.
And sometimes they enjoy being alone because they recharge through solitude.
That's something extroverts often don't understand. For introverts, being alone isn't sad, it's necessary.
Yes, I think many introverts actually love their alone time, reading, writing, creating, or just thinking.
It's their way of breathing.
Let's flip the conversation a bit. What do you think are introverts' biggest strengths?
Hmm. I'd say self-awareness. Introverts spend time reflecting, so they really understand their thoughts and emotions.
I agree. They're also amazing listeners.
Oh, yes, introverts don't interrupt, they actually listen. When you talk to them, you feel heard.
Exactly. And that makes them great friends, leaders, and partners.
I also think introverts are creative thinkers. They often spend hours daydreaming or coming up with ideas because they enjoy mental exploration.
That's so true. Some of the most creative people I know are introverts. They're not loud, but their minds are bursting with imagination.
And they're often empathetic. Because they observe quietly, they pick up on other people's feelings.
Yes, empathy is such a gift. Introverts can sense emotions in a room even when no one says anything.
Yeah, they're like emotional detectives.
Now, let's be honest. Being an introvert can be hard sometimes.
Definitely. One challenge is social pressure. People often expect you to be outgoing all the time.
Yes, and if you're quiet, they assume something's wrong. Like, are you okay? Why are you so quiet?
Exactly. And sometimes introverts just don't have the energy to talk. It doesn't mean they're upset.
Right. Another challenge is networking. In business or school, networking is so important, but it's hard for introverts to approach new people.
Yeah, walking into a room full of strangers can be terrifying for them.
But when they do connect with someone, it's genuine.
Exactly. I think introverts can learn strategies that fit their style, like one-on-one networking instead of big group mingling.
That's a great tip. Also, I think introverts sometimes struggle to express themselves on the spot.
True. They often need time to prepare their thoughts. That's why they're great at writing emails or reflective messages, because they can think before responding.
Yes, they communicate best when they have space to process.
Let's talk about relationships. How do introverts usually handle romantic relationships?
Oh, that's an interesting one. I think introverts love deeply but quietly.
I agree. They're not flashy, but they're loyal and attentive.
Right. They might not say, I love you 20 times a day, but they'll show it through actions, remembering details, being there when it matters.
And they prefer deep emotional bonds over constant attention.
Right. But sometimes misunderstandings happen, especially if their partner is extroverted and wants more interaction.
Yeah, communication is key. The extrovert has to understand that silence doesn't mean disinterest, and the introvert has to explain their need for space.
That's true. I think balance is possible if both people respect each other's energy needs.
Exactly. When an introvert feels safe, they open up beautifully.
Let's talk about something introverts truly love: solitude.
Oh, yes. Being alone but not lonely.
Exactly. For introverts, solitude is like a battery charger.
I think a lot of extroverts misunderstand that. They think being alone means you're sad or bored. But for introverts, it's peace.
Totally. I love those quiet mornings with a cup of tea, just reading or journaling. It's heaven.
Same here. No noise, no pressure, just space to think.
And it's in those quiet moments that creativity and self-awareness grow.
Yeah, introverts find inspiration in silence.
So, if you could give one piece of advice to introverts listening today, what would it be?
I'd say don't try to change who you are. The world needs quiet thinkers as much as loudspeakers.
Beautifully said. I'd add, protect your energy. You don't have to say yes to every invitation or conversation. It's okay to rest.
Yes, solitude is strength, not weakness.
Exactly. And for introverts listening, remember that introverts need time alone, not because they don't like you, but because they're recharging.
That's right. Everyone's different, and that's what makes the world balanced.
Imagine if everyone talked all the time. Chaos.
Oh, yeah, no one would listen.
So maybe we can all learn something from introverts to slow down, listen, and appreciate silence.
You know, after talking about this for 2 hours, I feel like I understand introverts even more. And myself, too.
Me too. I think we all have introverted sides, even if we're social.
Yeah. Sometimes the best thing we can do is give ourselves permission to be quiet.
Absolutely. Silence can be powerful. It's where thoughts, creativity, and peace are born.
I love that.
Well, that's all for today's episode.
Thank you so much for listening to Dr. English Channel.
Remember, being introverted isn't something to fix. It's something to understand and embrace.
Exactly. Take care of your energy, honor your personality, and keep learning English through real-life topics like this.
Thanks for joining us. Until next time, stay kind, stay curious, and be yourself.
Bye, everyone.
Bye!